We now start with our session, that is the Vishuddha Chakra, the throat chakra for communicating. And let us welcome all together the speaker Neetaji.
Namaste everybody. Yeah. Have a seat. So how is everyone today? So we are ready for the next session. So we are ready for the Vishuddha Chakra Sadhana. We are ready to learn about the throat chakra. And this is the center of our communication. Now who will tell me what is communication? Yes? Is communication only about expressing ourselves? Yes. One is it is expressing ourselves, making sure that the other person understands. Communication is not just you speak and you throw it. Yes? That's why I always ask you, yes or no? Samjhe ki nahi? There is no use I talk and you don't understand because it is not communication. Is it only about expressing ourselves? Yes. Communication is also about listening to the other person. Now, is it only about listening to the other person? Yes. It is also about understanding the other person. Is communication really important? Why is that? Can we just keep quiet and we don't talk to others? Yes? One is yes, we need it to express ourselves. Why else we need to communicate? Is it so important? One is to make relationships. Why else we need communication? For learning something, we need communication. Yes? Can you say we need communication to change our environment? If you don't communicate, nothing will be changed. Yes? So communication is so important. It is the way we interact with the outer world. We have learned the lesson of the other chakras till now. In Mooladhara, we learned to ground ourselves, that we are grounded. We learn to become stable. We learn to get along with others. We learn to realize that people support us. Then what did we learn in Swadhisthana? We learned one-to-one interactions. That we need to learn how to have harmonious relationships. How to defend ourselves and protect ourselves also. Right? How to honor our personal space. In Manipur, what did we learn? That we have got power. We realized that every single person has got power. And what is power? What you give to the world is your power. Everyone gives something to the world and that is your power. Then what did we learn in heart? What did we learn in heart? We learned to trust, we learned to forgive, and we learned that we are here to give. We are here in this world to give. We learned generosity. Now we are coming to the fifth chakra. And this says that we need to learn how to communicate with everybody. Only then you can make the external environment in your favor. Now Vishuddha Chakra is located at the pit of the throat. Can you see the U notch? It is here the Vishuddha Chakra, which is a petal of 16 petals. It is a chakra of 16 petals. The color is sky blue. And it is ruled by the Guru. In astrology, when they see the position of your planet Guru, it is actually the Vishuddha chakra. This is the chakra of the Guru. And why it is called Vishuddha? V means in all directions. Shuddha means pure. This chakra opens when you become completely pure. ये चक्र तब खुलता है when you become completely pure. This chakra is quite tough to open. It takes a long time. Because as I told you, below the heart are human chakra. But above the heart you start becoming more and more divine. This chakra opens when you become completely pure. So that whatever comes out from your mouth is pure. Tell me something, from where do you speak? Do you speak from the throat? Do you speak from the heart? Where do you speak from? When you speak, can you think? Can you think before you speak? Actually, no, you can't. That's why you have to be pure. Because you don't think. The speaking happens so fast. It happens from such a subtle level that you have to be pure. Otherwise, what will come out of the mouth? It's going to destroy things around you. And that's what is happening. If this chakra is open, the person is a confident speaker. He is able to make himself understand and he is able to make others understood. He is able to understand others also. And in this chakra, there is one very important thing that resides, and that is time. Time resides in Vishuddha chakra. So the person whose Vishuddha chakra is open, he has got a sense of time. He is very centered and he is very expressive. But a person whose chakra is blocked, now the chakra can be either overactive or it can be underactive. If it is overactive, the person is very talkative. The person thinks that only I am right. Many people are agreeing, yeah, this person. See yourself now. The person is very dogmatic. He is very fixed about his ideas that only I am right. Just listen to me and don't talk to me. I am right. So the person thinks he is very right. He is very dogmatic. He doesn't have patience. So basically this is overactive Vishuddha chakra. And when it is underactive, the person doesn't talk. He is very timid, very shy, very nervous. He is very inconsistent, not sure. He cannot commit anything. And basically he loses sense of time. People whose chakra is blocked, they don't have a sense of time. Either they will keep on talking, they will not know the time has gone, or they will remember after the conversation, oh, I should have said this. वो तो चिड़िया तो उग गई खेत. Situation has got over. Vishuddha chakra is the center of your willpower. It is here that your willpower resides. Willpower. People who become addictive, they become addictive in the Vishuddha chakra. If today you make promises but you don't keep, the chakra is blocked. Or you can say vice versa. If you make promises and don't keep, it blocks the Vishuddha chakra. This is the place where you make a choice. See, in life you have many directions to take, right? But when you take the right direction, it happens in the throat chakra. This is the center of your choice, your willpower, and your self confidence. When you say this person is confident, it is because of the Vishuddha Chakra. And this is the seat of the Guru. This chakra teaches you a very important lesson, which is surrender. It teaches you the lesson of surrender. Now, just like all other chakra, this chakra has got 5 lessons. Are we all ready to learn the 5 lessons? Now, the first reason why this chakra gets blocked. First reason is comparison. You compare. Now, this is the chakra of extreme purity. Once you enter this chakra, once you start learning the lessons of this chakra, once you start becoming aware of life, you cannot compare anymore. Now, what do you compare? Right? You compare everything in life. You compare yourself with others. You compare this person with this person. You compare your children with others. This is about comparing with people. And comparing also doesn't happen at one level. You compare your physical status with his status. Is he more healthy or I am more healthy? Is he more well off or I am more well off? This is comparison between people. It's people also you compare at many levels. Physical, mental, emotional, social, everything. He speaks better, I don't speak better. He knows more, I don't know more. He has got this, I don't have this. He has got these choices, I have got these choices. Next, not even people. You compare everything. You compare different moments. Yesterday I was happy, today I am not happy. I was happy when I was in school. This is a good time, this is not a good time. You compare everything, you compare time, you compare moments, you compare situations. You compare every object. You compare things. This car and this car. This material object and this material object. But when you compare what happens, you tell something as low and something as high. And that makes you Ashuddha. Because is there something which is low and is there something that is high? I want to ask you. Is there anything which is low and anything which is high? Nothing, right? You can say that, you can say that a car, driving in a car is higher than driving in an auto rickshaw, right? But suppose you are stuck. You went somewhere, you went late and you are very stuck. And your car goes out of order. That time, don't you think even if you get a cycle, you will drive it? Yes or no? So everything depends on the moment, right? There is nothing low and high, right? You can say that my family is more important to me than others. Right? My family is everything for me. And suppose you have got some accident or you fall down on the road. Maybe a beggar will pick you up. Who becomes more important at that time? The beggar, right? He saved your life, right? So everything, doesn't it depend on the moment? Everything has got value or importance in the moment. It's the moment that decides what is what. Right? There is nobody high and nobody low. Nothing more precious and nothing less precious. कहते हैं ना, डूबते को तिनका का सहारा ही सही. You can get a small twig only and you can be saved. So you can't really define anything. So this Ashuddhata of comparing with others or comparing things resides in the throat chakra. And this comparison has to go. The basic comparison what people do is compare yourself with others. And what does this cause? Jealousy. Self-rejection. Yes or no? But how does jealousy harm you? Is it okay to be jealous and it doesn't matter? Or does it harm you? Yes? How does it harm you? One is yes, jealousy gives you stress level. How else does it harm you? How else? One is it makes you negative, right? And you know, anytime you become negative, you become ashuddha and the throat chakra is blocked. Anything negative blocks the throat chakra. Anything negative. Any pain, any fear, anything negative will block the throat chakra. So when you are jealous, what do you convey to the universe? That this situation caused me pain. Yes? When a person got a rise in career, you saw that event and you had pain. So you said that this event caused me pain. Will you attract that event in your life? Will you attract that event? No, it caused you pain. Someone bought a new house and you had pain. Will you attract it in your life? Will you attract it? No, because the event caused you pain. Someone's child got very good results and you are after your child to study and you have pain. Will your child get good marks? Never. Because this is the law of life. Any event that causes you pain, you cannot attract that event in your life. You see successful people. Whenever they see success, they are happy. Wow, success. You did well. Wow, great. Inspiration. Why don't you use someone else's success as an inspiration? Wow, if he can do, I can also do. And can't you see that everybody is inspiring the other person? If we did not know that a businessman can earn so much or a career growth can take a person to this level, we would never have tried harder. Yes or no? Today you're very satisfied with your salary. Right? You're working, you're very satisfied with your salary. And suddenly you meet an old friend and he comes to you that I am getting 5 times. What will happen? My God. Suddenly you feel, oh God, I'm underpaid. Suddenly you will become underpaid. But isn't that the time to be inspired? Oh, I didn't know that. You could go even abroad. Or you could do this. I didn't even know it. Can't you use it to inspire yourself? So basically, when you compare yourself with others, you reject yourself. And when you reject yourself, can you change anything about yourself? You lose power, right? You lose power. You lose your will power. You lose your power to command. So self-acceptance is the key. This is the chakra that has to be liberated. This chakra, we have to be liberated to speak our truth, to speak what we want. You know, biggest of revolutions have happened because people's voice was curbed. Yes or no? When people were not allowed freedom to talk, freedom to express. This takes us to the next lesson. Fear of speaking, or blocks in speaking. So what is the first lesson? Comparison. Everyone is cleared about comparison? Of course, it needs a lot of meditation, but we will be doing one meditation. We will be doing one meditation to remove comparison with others. So comparison is clear to everybody? At least from now, become aware that I am comparing. I don't have to compare. Just like different fruits have got different flavors, right? But nobody is lesser than the other. Can anyone say that mango is lesser than banana? Or banana is lesser than papaya? No, right? You are unique. You are unique, right? And every moment is special, every moment is unique. Whatever happens in a moment is complete for the moment. So comparison has to go. This chakra opens when you become completely pure without any comparison. Clear? Everyone is clear of comparison? Can we clap hand, we completed one? So now we come to the next one, fear of speaking. Blocks in speaking. I want to ask you, why don't you speak what is in your heart? Why? Why don't you speak your truth? What stops you? Yes, one is fear of being rejected, fear of being humiliated, fear of not being honored. Then, yes, fear of hurting someone, fear of antagonizing someone, fear of losing someone's favor. What if I lose him? Right? Fear of speaking something that will take away whatever the person gives to me. Right? Fear of losing the favor that I get from that person. Now, fear of speaking happens due to some kind of dependency. Somewhere you are dependent on the person. That's why you have a fear. Fear of rejection, fear of disapproval, fear of antagonizing the person. But is it helping you? Is it right? No, it's not right. It's not right. Because if you hold your words here, your throat chakra will be blocked. But does it mean that we should just speak out and really antagonize him, really hurt them? Then what we should do? We should first purify ourselves of that person. Today, why your words are hurting? Because you inside are not pure. People judge you because of your words. People judge you because of what you speak. So solution is not to just speak. Solution is to purify yourself. That no one is actually bad. People are behaving as per their limitation, as per their perception, as per their life. Nobody is bad. When we purify ourselves, you can see the person for what he stands for, and then you can talk, communicate, understand. Yes or no? Right? So, when we remove our negativity for that person, our negativity or fear for that person, even the fear that he is higher or he is more important, when you remove any kind of comparison or negativity for that person, then you can talk. So solution is to first clean ourselves of all perceptions of the person. Then only you can talk. Now let's come to one simple question. Why do we communicate? Or what are the different ways we communicate to people? Okay? What do we do in communication? What are the different methods of or different ways we communicate? First we communicate to give an instruction to someone. One is, let's talk, what all we do in communication. There are only 4 or 5 types. No, I'm not talking way of communication, I'm actually talking different types of communication between people. 1, we communicate to give an instruction to someone. What is the end purpose? The person should understand the instruction. This is clear. If the person doesn't understand the instruction, will your communication purpose be met? No, right? That is why when you give an instruction, especially people who are in corporate, they will ask, now you repeat, kya samjhe? Right? You ask them to repeat. Right? So one is you communicate an instruction. And what is your expectation? The person should understand. The person should accept. And if he doesn't accept, he should give a logic why he doesn't accept. Why? Maybe I am wrong in instruction. Clear? Second type of communication could be one to many. What I am giving now. Where expectation will be, you don't judge, you accept, and silence. This is one type of communication, one to many. That you understand, you accept, and don't be judgmental, and have silence. This is second type. Third type is when people share ideas and opinions. Right? People share their opinions and ideas about the world or about things. In this, what is the expectation? One is understanding, and second is that you should honor each other's opinions. You cannot tell the other person, no, you quite only listen to me. Because communication is two-way. So one is that when you share ideas, it should be honoring the opinions of others. Like we say, we agree to disagree. This is one type of communication. Next, we communicate our emotions with someone, right? We communicate our emotions with someone. We are very upset, we are very sad. What do we expect from the other person? Some kind of sympathy, empathy, right? Sometimes we even communicate to get some guidance. Yes or no? We communicate to get some guidance. And lastly, one more type of communication. We engage in some light chatter for entertainment. Right? We express our talents and engage in some light chatter. Does gossip come into it? Does gossip come into this? Does gossip come into communication? No. What are we getting from gossip? You're just talking negative about somebody. You don't want anything from the other person. He is talking, you are talking. When you do gossip, please notice your energy levels, they are totally down. Have you ever found that if you're talking to someone on telephone, after you keep down the telephone, your energy levels are very down? Have you noticed that? For some people you say, no, she's an energy sucker. Whenever I talk to her, my energy goes. Because when you talk without any purpose or a goal, it blocks your throat chakra. If you're talking only for release of pain, you just want to complain, right? And you won't get empathy from someone because of complaint. So there is no two-way communication and your throat chakra is blocked. Throat chakra gets blocked if you talk without any purpose. Naturally, you're complaining against many people, you won't get empathy. Yes or no? So if you're only talking for pleasure, putting someone down, demeaning, talking behind the back of somebody, gossiping, it is for pleasure, right? Of release of pain. It will drain your energy and the throat chakra will be blocked. Whenever you talk, you should know what is going to be my purpose of my communication. Is it clear? Next, getting angry at somebody and shouting at anybody, is it communication? Suppose you are very upset with your employee, he did a big blunder, and you think, usko bulao jara abhi, and you are shouting at him. Is there a purpose in this communication? Does anger fall in communication? But you have to understand, you express your emotions, but there should be empathy from that side, na? He's not going to have empathy, na? He's going to defend himself. See, communication should be two-way, right? Not only one way, right? If I reject your communication, it's gone, right? Today, if I'm talking and you don't understand, it's gone, right? If you have to shout at anybody, whether it's your child for doing a mistake, whether your employee for doing a mistake, is it communication? If you shout at him, if you get angry at him, he's not going to accept it, right? Your anger. Because normally when you shout, you're angry, you put the person down, right? You call him names and you insult him and you put him down. It's a one-way communication. It's not going to work. It's not going to make him understand you at all. But on the other hand, what can you do? If someone has done a blunder, a very big mistake, in spite of you telling him what you should do, should you just shout at him? Or what should you do? Yes, we should sit and we should communicate with the person. You can show your rage. You can tell him, see, this has happened. Are you understanding this? Are you understanding the implication? And then take a decision. Anger resides in the throat chakra. And anger, is anger good or bad? I want to ask, is anger good or is it bad? We have to understand anger is a very useful energy. It's not bad. Anger is very important. It's given by God. Even Shiva used to get angry and used to open his third eye. But anger cannot be used to demean or belittle a person. Then it's bad. You will get angry. It's impossible. How much ever spiritually realized you become, you will get angry when things are not aligned. But use that energy, use it positively to change the situation in your favor. Anger allows you to do things which no anger will not allow you. Suppose there are certain people in your company, you don't want to keep them. A certain situation where you are stuck. You know, if there is anger, you get the power to remove them. If there is a kind of anger, you are able to do things which you are not able to do before. No, but anger depends, right? If you just take the anger and let it burn and seethe you, it's different. But anger means a kind of feeling of non-alignment. Ye sahi nahi hai. It gives you that power. Sahi nahi hai. When you say sahi nahi hai, you can be negativity and destroy. Or destroy yourself. And one is, you get anger, negativity, and you use wisdom and change the situation. Yeah, but see, it depends. If you have constantly of anger, then it is irritation. It's not anger. But some anger will definitely be there. It's not possible. But yes, the anger will come. If you see things which are not aligned, you will change with power, no? That is anger. Throat chakra gets blocked because of frustration and helplessness. Helplessness. Whenever you feel frustrated and you feel helpless, the throat chakra gets blocked. And what is the seat of? What is the throat chakra the seat of? The Guru. And Guru means wisdom, knowledge. This is the seat of your knowledge, your Gyan. Your Gyan works when you are positive. Your Gyan will work, your Buddhi will work when you are positive. If you become negative and frustrated, your Buddhi will be blocked. But is there anything in life for which you have to be frustrated? Is frustration a positive energy? Never. Anger is a positive energy, but frustration is not at all a positive energy. What is helplessness? Is that a positive energy? What is the meaning of helplessness? Many times we feel helpless. What does this mean? Helplessness is not self-pity. Helplessness means I can't find a solution because the problem is because of another person or another situation. It is not in my control. Helplessness means I cannot do anything because the problem is because of another person or another situation. Can it ever happen? In every situation of your life, there is a solution. There is no situation which comes in your life for which there is no solution. So there is nothing called helpless. The solution is there, but you don't want to follow it. The solution is there for every helplessness, but you don't want to follow it. If your child is suppose behaving in a non-aligned way and you are helpless, मैं क्या करूं? There is a solution. उसके कान मोड़ो, उसके पॉकेट मनी बंद करो, उसका मोबाइल ले लो. There is a solution, but you don't want to follow it. You have got an employee who is not aligned and you are feeling helpless because you are feeling, how can I remove him, dependency, this, that. But there is a solution. You remove him, get another one. Training can take time, but solution is there. Helpless means solution is there, but it is tough for me to follow. That is helplessness. Solution है, पर मेरे लिए बहुत tough है. मेरे लिए बहुत tough है. That the decision that it is such a tough thing that I cannot follow it. But we have to understand, we have to follow that tough thing now. then the helpless situation will not come. And best thing in life is, if you learn the lesson, the situations only don't come in your life. When you learn the lesson, the situation itself doesn't come in your life. So, throat chakra means, in throat chakra, we learn the vital lesson to speak, to purify ourselves, and then we have to speak what is in our heart. We have to speak the truth. The fear that we will antagonize someone, we will be rejected by somebody, we will be dishonored by somebody, or someone will leave us. All these fears have to go for the throat chakra to become open. And at the same time, this is the seat of wisdom. And wisdom only awakens when you are calm. And the calmness will happen when you are pure. Because any kind of impurity will make you non-aligned. So this is the chakra where you purify yourself no end. You purify yourself no end. Then only you are able to speak your truth. The fear of speaking also stops you from speaking when it is required. So when you remove the fear of speaking, you have to trust that whatever I speak will be the truth. This is the chakra where liars take birth, the people who lie. Because when there is a fear of speaking the truth, they start lying or they start speaking half truth. But we have to know that any kind of lying is going to block the chakra. It is not about that nobody knows. Finally, your guru knows, right? Your guru knows what you have done. You cannot hide from your own mirror. So this chakra encourages you that you have to speak the truth. This is the place where you give your word to someone. This is the place where you give the word to someone. If you are not able to follow your word, what happens? The person feels betrayed and you lose the trust of that person and you fall in your own eyes. So this is the chakra where you have to live up to your commitments. This chakra will open when you live up to your every single commitment that you make, or you have to give a valid reason for that and apologize. Even that commitment could be a very small thing for a child. Hey beta, when I come today, I will bring this for you. Or it could be very small thing for your driver. That after 6 months, definitely I will give you raise. Or yes, definitely I will help you when your daughter gets married. Whenever you give your commitment to anybody, it could be for time, punctuality, helping a person, doing something for the person, or being present, you have to live up to the commitment. You have to. Otherwise, the chakra will never open. So basically, we have to understand that in this chakra, a very strong level of commitment has to happen. And if you can't live up to the commitment, better call the person, sincerely apologize from the heart, and tell the person why you could not make it. Then only you will notice that your words become powerful. People get affected by your words. You have noticed that some people, when they make deals, people trust them very easily. When they talk, people trust them. People take their words for granted. That power comes because your throat chakra is open. It helps you in your career. It helps you in your business. People can judge you are lying or you are telling the truth. Because when you talk, your words will have that power that yes, what I talk, I mean it. I mean it. It's the truth. Everyone is clear about it? So everyone is now going to live up to their commitments. Whatever you make, small commitment also you make now. You make a commitment if you are going to honor it. So this second lesson over, can we clap? Now we come to the third lesson. Third chapter is fear of listening. Today, do you find it easy to listen to others? It's difficult to listen to others. When the throat chakra is blocked, people develop certain diseases. One is thyroid. You have hypothyroid or hyperthyroid. The hypothyroid happens when you have a problem listening, and hyperthyroid happens when you have a problem speaking. And at the same time, asthma, hair fall, skin diseases, throat issues, cough, cold, they happen because of this chakra. So many people have got a problem listening. What is listening now? What is listening to a person? Is it just having the words here? One is paying attention. And as I told you in the last workshop, what is listening? Listening is, first you will hear the words here. Second step, you will understand the words here. This is understanding. Third, you will feel them with your heart. You will feel them with your heart. And then you will judge them with your opinions here. The listening is still here, not till here. But what happens is that people develop a fear of listening. If you have faced a lot of negative things in your life, if you have listened to many negative things in your life, you start hearing from here. You stop hearing from here. And then the chakra gets blocked. You have to analyze why you have a fear of listening. Why? Because you have a fear of the emotions from the other person that you are getting when you are listening. That what if the emotions affect you? Because when people speak, they speak their whole emotions, right? They speak negative. They can speak things that are hurting. So when people speak things that are hurting with emotions, or they speak something which you are not aligned with, you judge their speaking. You judge that he is speaking something that I don't want him to speak. He is saying something which I don't want to hear. So when you judge someone speaking, so what will happen? That this chakra will be blocked. Judging of your speaking blocks the chakra. That because of my speaking, I will hurt someone, etc. And judging someone's speaking also blocks this chakra. And why else you have a fear of listening to others? Why else? Why you don't want to listen to others? Think. Why you become dependent just by listening to someone? Okay, so one is that yes, what I said that you have a fear of listening because you fear that you might get swayed because of the person. He might tell you something because of which you will get swayed. Right? You don't want his opinions to affect you. So you just hear from here. Why else you don't want to listen? Why you have a fear of listening? Yeah, because you're judging the other person and you don't listen because you feel that the other person is not very significant. He's not really, worthy, he's not significant. So you just judge the person and you reject him outright. But is it right to reject a person outright? Can you judge a person speaking just by the person? Do you believe that someone very insignificant in your words can actually say something important to you? Someone very insignificant according to you could give you the advice of a lifetime? Yes or no? So you can't judge a person because of what he is. And next is, one is you judge a person. One is you fear that the person's words can affect you emotionally or can affect your opinions. And why another you have a fear of listening? You feel overwhelmed to listen. That it is too much to listen. You become overwhelmed with listening. It's too much to listen. The people speak too much and it is overwhelming to listen to people. That's what. That is the second one what we said. Fear that their opinions can override your opinions. That's why you don't want to listen. So that is a fear of listening. But is it right? Is it right? But if you have a difference of opinion, you communicate, right? This is my opinion, this is your opinion. Yeah, but what happens is that why he has come to you? Because there is something to be achieved. There is some end purpose. There is some end purpose. That is why he is in your environment. You talk and he talks and you communicate. The right thing will manifest. The right thing will manifest. The answer finally has to be the right thing, right? If it is the wrong thing, the wrong results will happen. Yeah, but some action has to be taken. But some action has to be taken at that time. Some action has to be taken. Yeah. So communication doesn't get over. It gets, okay, you can agree to disagree, but some action has to be taken as per the requirements of the moment. So we have to understand that the fear of listening happens because of these reasons, but it is not right. Just as we honor our speaking, we have to honor others speaking also. Just like you have a right to speak, you also have the duty to listen. If you don't listen to others, you will be missing many vital things. Many vital messages from the universe you will be missing. Because you are only self-righteous and only talking. You have to listen equally. You have to listen to even the universe. You have to listen to life. It's also giving you messages through people. So we are clear about the third chapter? So can we clap? Now we come to the next. This chakra gets blocked because of guilt. Guilt. What is guilt? Guilt is only blaming the self. Guilt is self-inflicted punishment. And every person has got guilt once in their lifetime. Every person. Until the guilt is there, the chakra will be blocked. So, guilt is what? You are judging whatever you did before with the wisdom of today. That is guilt. Something happened, you did something at that time, but you are judging it today. And every person has got guilt. Every person. Until you have guilt, the chakra is blocked. You can't forgive yourself. Today you have many different types of guilt. You have guilt related to your parents probably. That I didn't serve my parent the way I wanted. You have guilt related to your children. I didn't take care of my children the way I wanted. You have guilt related to your studies. I did not study as much as was required. You have guilt related to your career. I was not as disciplined or as hardworking as was required. You have guilt related to doing wrong things in life. I have cheated this person. I have betrayed this person. I have broken the trust of this person. I have done this wrong in my life. When purification time comes, every single thing you have done incorrect will come in front of you. Every single thing that you have done incorrect will come in front of you to be addressed. You can't escape. You can't. So whatever you have this pain or guilt that I have done wrong, it will come in front of you. And they will not be many, they will not be 1,000, they will be 2 or 3 only. But if you don't address them, you will be self-rejecting yourself all the time. Guilt is a message to the world, punish me. Guilt is a message to the world, punish me. And what better way to be punished? Rather than getting what you want. Today you are blocking success in your life because of your guilt. You're blocking the good things coming in your life because of guilt. Today, if you have broken someone's heart, probably you're not getting someone to love you because of your guilt. If you hurt someone, you have guilt. And this guilt is blocking many things in your life. And what I'm going to talk today is just a simple 4-step procedure to get you rid of this self-inflicting punishment. And you can do it easily at home. Are you ready to listen to that? Because there is no other method to come out of guilt. No other method. You can repent, you can cry for years, you will not come out. So, first thing we have to understand the nature of guilt. Guilt, resides in your body like a virus. It tells you, see, you have done something wrong. Right? You've done something wrong. So you should be punished. It will just tell you have done something wrong. So you'll start attracting punishment. Then it will tell you, but what can I do? But what could I do? I did the best. This is the only thing I could do at that time. Right? So it tells you that you have done wrong, and immediately in the next nanosecond it justifies it. Guilt resides in your body by blaming you and justifying it. By blaming and justifying, blaming and justifying. Now, how to come out of guilt? Step 1. Look at whatever you have done like a sin. Look at it like a ghor paap, like a sin I have done. Right? You have to do this exercise at home when you are alone. Be ready to face it like a sin. Don't justify, absolutely don't justify. If you look at it like a sin, straight in the eye, I challenge you, the tears have to come out. The tears will come out. Guilt only comes out with tears. You will cry. You have to cry. Paschatap ke aansu. But don't justify yourself. What people do is when they have cried, they get so scared to face the sin that they tell, no, what could I do? Don't. Say, I have been very wrong. I have been incorrect. I should not have done it. I have done wrong. I should never have done it. And in that crying mode, ask forgiveness from everybody affected by it. No need to go to them physically, ask from their souls. I'm sorry, I did this. It was a huge mistake. Like for this guy who got his father-in-law, he should have said, I have done a stupidity. I have done out of my selfishness. I did not think that he's a patient. He should be first taken to doctor rather than thinking of bringing my wife home. I have done a huge stupidity and a huge mistake. He should cry over it. I have done a mistake. He should not justify himself. He has done a stupidity. Clear? He should not justify. He should say, I have done wrong, and he should cry over it and ask forgiveness from his wife, from the mother-in-law, and from the soul of the father-in-law. I have done a mistake. Similarly, for this person who lost his brother, he should ask forgiveness. Bhai, mujhe maaf kar. I should have taken you to the hospital. I should have forced you to wear. I'm sorry. Without justification, you have to cry and you have to ask forgiveness from all the people affected by it. Is it clear? Is it possible, all this? Step 2. Know that you deserve to be forgiven for this sin. So forgive yourself. Everyone deserves to be forgiven. Even a murderer, right? Even Valmiki, right? Right? How many people he had murdered for his family? But when he realized, he was forgiven. Everyone deserves to be forgiven, right? And you deserve to be forgiven for the sin, not because of the justification, for the sin. You have put yourself in the Katagara. You have put yourself in the Katagara. You only have to prove yourself not guilty. You have to at least forgive yourself. So, second step. You have to forgive yourself. Agreed? Third, decide to never ever repeat it again if you get a chance. Okay? Say, I have done this mistake. Next time, for this person, next time, if someone falls sick, I will think of the patient and not about me. Next time, if I get a chance, I will take care of my children much better than what I took care of them now. Next time, if I get chance, I will do this in this way. Clear? So decide to never ever repeat it and do corrections if ever you get a chance. Clear? Last. Realize that this definition that I am guilty if I do this is my own. The definition is your own. You have to realize that this definition that I have done wrong is also made by me only. It's not a universal definition. Definition of Paap and Punya is made by people only. Yes or no? So understand that this definition is your own only. That if I had done this, then it would have happened because it was an afterthought. So last step is you should destroy the definition. Just say, I destroy it. But you can't destroy it beginning. You can't destroy it till you are a sinner. You have to remove the sin first, and lastly you have to destroy the definition. Clear? So everyone is clear about guilt? And you have to do it for every single guilt you have. Everyone can do this? Can we clap for this chapter? Now we come to the last lesson of the throat chakra. Last lesson. Why this chakra gets blocked? It gets blocked because of impatience. Because in this chakra, time resides. And you have to understand, you are a consciousness which only exists in the now. You only exist in the now. Tomorrow, yesterday, here, there, this person, this situation, that situation, you don't exist. Till there is time in your life, the chakra is blocked. Because this chakra needs you to be centered in your wisdom. You have to be centered in yourself in pure wisdom. Because you are an intelligent consciousness. What are you? You are intelligence personified, right? So till time exists in your life, this chakra will be blocked. Because actually, spiritually, there is nothing called time. The only time you have is now. The only time you have is now. If you have to even think about your yesterday, you have to come out of now and think about yesterday. You lose yourself the moment you think about yesterday. You lose yourself when you think about tomorrow. You don't trust that your now has got everything for yesterday and tomorrow. It has got everything. You don't have to go here and go there. You have to believe that now is the only time you have in your life. You don't have to think about tomorrow to plan for tomorrow. The planning will happen in the now only. Have you ever noticed that while you are working or in your day-to-day routine, you start getting triggers? ये करना है, वो करना है, right? But it is something for tomorrow. But it is giving you triggers today. So all the planning for tomorrow also happens today. The problem is you go to tomorrow. The problem is you think about tomorrow. The problem is you think tomorrow exists. That's the problem. There is nothing called tomorrow. Everything is today. And not even today, everything is now. It's just now. But what happens with impatience? You want everything fast. You have goals, targets. Tomorrow. And because of that, you come out of this chakra and you lose your wisdom. What to do for tomorrow? You lose the wisdom. I want to know, when you say tomorrow, is there anything called tomorrow? Because after tomorrow, another tomorrow will come. Then another tomorrow, then another tomorrow. Then after a goal, another goal will come. Then another goal. Then another goal. Right? Goal will come after a goal. Are you running after goals? Is there a race? कोई race लगी है? Who will come first? Is there any race? Anyone is participating in some race? What if there is no race? What if our perception of life itself is incorrect? What if we are not here to actually achieve something? If you are here to achieve something, you would have carried whatever you created. Who will be able to carry his house, car, etc. when you die? You can't even carry your clothes that you are wearing when you die. So don't you think our perception of why we are born itself is incorrect? We are not born to create all this. Why we are born? Yes? We are not born, right, to create all this. घर बनाया, सब कुछ बनाया, सक्सेस, नेम, फेम, सब बनाया. बाद में फोटो लग जाएगी कि देखो इस पर्सन ने बहुत सारे काम किए थे जीवन में. हम तो ऊपर चले गए और पूरे टाइम भागते रहे, लोन पे करते रहे, काम करते रहे दूसरों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए. Don't you think your definition of success itself is incorrect? Success कुछ है ही नहीं suppose life में. Suppose there is nothing called success in life and nothing called failure in life, then what if there is nothing called success and failure in life, then what? See, we have to understand when you know the laws of chakra that you are stable. Roti, kapda, makan सबको मिलेगा. You know the law. You don't have to really work for it. You don't have to work hard for it. Right? क्या होगा? थोड़ा पैसा ज्यादा आ जाएगा, 2 रोटी और खा लोगे, इंडाइजेशन हो जाएगा उल्टा. तो रोटी कपड़ा मकान तो मिलने ही वाला है सबको. So we are not for that. Right? So what is success and what is failure? Who will tell what is success and failure? Because actually everybody's problem is success and failure. Everyone's problem is that. So we have to understand that firstly, that our definition of success and failure has to be revisited. Because as we said, one is everyone has got their own definition of success. The real answer is that success, we have come in this world for only one reason. We have come in this world only for one reason. We have not come to create assets, have children, etc. We have not even come for some creative thing also. We have not even come to create something also. Because even that we will leave behind. Even that we will leave behind. Just think, if you were not born in this world, would the world be any different? No, right? Of course, the world would have been more special because you are present. But if you had not been present, the world would still have gone the way it is. So even creativity of yours is not why you have come in this world. We have to understand we have come in this world only for one reason. We have come in this world only to realize ourselves. That's it. We have come only to know the lessons of the chakra. We have come to know we are stable. We have come to know we are creative in Swadhisthana. We have come to know we are powerful. We have come to know we are compassionate, generous. We have come to know that we are expressive. We have come to know we are content. And success is learning the lesson. It doesn't matter. All the situations that you face in your life, they are only meant to teach you about yourself. Don't look at the situation. Don't look at your family. Don't look at your spouse, your children, your business. Look at what you have learned from them. Each lesson has brought you closer to yourself. Everything that you are facing in your life, it is bringing you closer to yourself. Whether you call it failure in the outward world, you are learning something about yourself. Whether you call it success in the outer world, you are learning something about yourself. So can you say that you are successful all the time? Every moment is successful because every moment you are learning about yourself. Every moment you are learning about yourself. So you are successful all the time. You are successful all the time. Whether you get any type of success in the external world, that success will also cause pleasure and sometimes it will cause pain. But once you realize that you have come in this world only for realizing your qualities, realizing yourself, and that will translate to the success outside. It is going to translate because that is the nature of life. It's the nature of life. Nature of life is to grow, is to be abundant. So if you are successful inside, your outer world automatically will be successful. So there is nothing called success. Because every moment is a success. Every moment is complete. Purnamada Purnamidam. Purnat Purnam Udyachite. Everything is complete, and from that completeness